Isang mula na mo ron chumena matagni ko ni rongo ni bibo ko matagi ke misa po. Niya na isang mula na sero ko ni sana. Churi kino na mo ron chumay. Tu na sile. Nisang mula oyo Mr. Ben.
Kela po?
Na magkikira ni bibo mataka mo ni chikira mo ron buka may na ono kinadiwa na Navua FM.
Ang pala sile.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. In this bulletin, a young boy is dead and his brother is in critical condition after a house fire in Navua. Big winners at the Business Excellence Awards in Nandi last night. And New Zealand reigned victorious at the Rugby World Cup. A young boy is dead and two of his brothers are hospitalized after a house fire in Navua early this morning. Edwin Nunn reports the deceased was a Class 7 student.
The three brothers were asleep inside this lean-to house made of corrugated iron and timber. The 12-year-old did not make it out in time.
My sister-in-law called me this morning to tell me what had happened. We all came down, but the house had burned down. My nephew was still inside the burnt house.
The National Fire Authority says it received a call at about 3:40 in the morning and reached Tongoru Road in Navua within 9 minutes. The house was well engulfed by then. While the NFA says the owner and his wife were at home when the fire started, FBC News has gathered from neighbors and relatives that the three boys had been alone in the house. This tragedy could have been far worse if not for the quick thinking of the eldest brother. When he found the house on fire, he picked up his youngest brother and threw him out the window to save his life. It was during this act of bravery that he suffered severe burns and is currently admitted in hospital. The 13-year-old has suffered severe burns and is in critical condition. His younger sibling has minor burns. As news spread about the tragedy, families and friends gathered at the house in Navua trying to come to terms with the loss. The distraught parents tonight staying with relatives nearby. Edwin Nunn, FBC News.
The Fiji Electricity Authority and the Itoke Land Trust Board were the big winners at the Fiji Business Excellence Awards last night. Shireen Latta reports 24 organizations from the private and public sector were recognized for their business and management practices.
Recipient of the 2015 Fiji Business Excellence Prize is
The Fiji Electricity Authority was recognized for its top-notch performance in the business sector. Chief Executive Hasmukh Patel says FEA has had to come a long way to reach this point. He says the award is a huge achievement for them as FEA celebrates its Golden Jubilee next year.
When I joined the organization, it was a small organization. Today, it's a company worth over $1 billion.
One of the other 8 winners in the main category was the Itoke Land Trust Board, which has also climbed the ranks as one of the leading agencies in Fiji.
Awards is a reflection of ELTV showing to achieve the highest possible standards of quality, performance and business excellence, and ensuring that services offered to our customers, our landowners, landowning owners, our strategic partners and stakeholders are of the highest standards.
The Fiji Business Excellence Awards is designed to help organizations put in place robust management practices, processes and systems to achieve better results. The awards were given in 3 categories: Commitment to Business Excellence, Achievement in Business Excellence and Fiji Business Excellence Prize. Shireen Latta, FBC News.
The Bartown Council is concerned with the foul smell from the Elevuka Creek, which it believes is the result of a broken sewer line. Apart from the stench, the municipal council is worried about the health risk. Ali Kimbia has more.
This has been the scene in Batown for the past 2 weeks. The Batown Council has received complaints from various shops along the Ilebuka Creek and villages living on the banks of the Mba River.
We have been receiving complaints from market vendors as well as business communities along the Ilebuka Creek and complaining about the pollution, the smell coming out.
Narayan says they have raised the issue and are still waiting for a report from the Department of Environment.
Last week we had reported this matter to Department of Environment, and they have taken a water sample with the assistance from Water Authority of Fiji, and the sample was sent to USP Suva last week Friday. And according to resource, they said that the sample will be analyzed by sometimes next week.
According to Narayan, they will have to wait for the Department of Environment to finalize the report, and then they can decide on the next course of action. For now, residents will have to bear with the foul smell and, if possible, avoid the area. FBC News have sent questions to the Water Authority of Fiji, and they are yet to comment on the issue. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Coming up, successful Fijian tells the story of a man who became a millionaire through farming.
मेरा चांद मुझे आया है नजर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। छाया है नशा मेरे आंखों पर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। रह जाए ना प्यासा मेरा प्यार, मेरे बाहों में भर दे मेरा यार, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। है दोस्तों, मैं हूं जितेन शांडिल। आप रात के बाद हमारे साथ अब रफ्तार प्रोग्राम में 3 से लेकर रात 7 के बीच शामिल हो सकते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम, इट्स हॉट।
Welcome back here with FBC News. An 8-story hotel and commercial complex will be constructed in Suva from the second quarter of next year. The complex is a joint venture between the Itoke Trust Fund and the Methodist Church in Fiji Holding Trust. The signing of the management agreement was with the Carlson Residor Hotel Group. The complex will be located along Stewart Street and St. Ford Street within the CBD on properties currently owned by the 2 joint venture partners. The hotel is said to have 130 rooms and will be known as the Next Gen or Next Generation Park Inn by Radisson Fiji Suva. And the hotel is expected to be opened in the second quarter of 2018. Princess Sarazay, the global advocate for maternal and newborn health, was in Fiji recently for a regional humanitarian meet. She champions the inclusion of humanitarian priorities in the UN Secretary General's Every Woman, Every Child global strategy. And Jackie Spade tells us more.
During her address at the Pacific Humanitarian Partnership meeting in Suva, the Princess stressed the critical need to consider matters involving women and children in a disaster-prone region like the Pacific with the looming threat of climate change.
OECD data shows that 60% of preventable maternal mortality, 53% of under 5, and 46% of preventable newborn deaths are occurring in humanitarian and fragile settings. The universal promise of every woman, every child is an empty one until and unless it delivers everywhere. And that commitment must extend into the Pacific.
Over the past few days in Nadi, the Pacific Island health leaders have worked hard to produce and adopt integrated recommendations on what the opportunities of the Sustainable Development Agenda looks like when seen through the lens of the Global Strategy for Women, Children and Adolescents' Health.
Taking account of such gendered and age-related differences is critical for policy effectiveness, key to strengthening community resilience, and all the more pertinent given how young is the majority of the Pacific's population.
The Princess stressed that it was clear that climate change is more than just rising sea level threats to land, changes in rainfall and fresh water and disaster. It is about the people.
As the women in rural northern Fiji declared, Paris or no Paris, we are going to build this house. And to do this, we must tear down the schism between development and humanitarian response. upholding humanitarian principles where needed.
With a strong El Nino now threatening 11 Pacific countries and placing up to 4.7 million people at risk, the health and safety of women and children must be a priority consideration for humanitarian partners over the months ahead. Jackie Spate, FBC News.
Examinations for Year 12 begin tomorrow with a total of 12,484 students sitting the exam in 166 centres. Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy has wished all students the very best and reminded parents and guardians to provide full support. The exam ends on November 16th. It is never too late and no one too old to return to the village and till the land if one has big dreams. These are the words of our successful Fijian this week. Etuate Ndronindalo is one of Fiji's multi-million-dollar farmers living in Overlau.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
This week, FBC News travels to Lovoni, a 40-minute drive from the old capital Levuka, to meet the island's multimillionaire. Etuate Ndronindalo is a full-time farmer on his island home, planting kava, dalo and yasi, or sandalwood. However, 6 years ago, he couldn't even dream of having the riches he has today.
This is my 6th year as a full-time farmer. I used to previously work as a civil servant. I used to be a police officer before I returned to the village and went back to work at the provincial council office. I learned a lot of stuff while working at the provincial office, but straight after that, I came back to the village and started my own farm.
Since starting his farm in 2009, Ndronindalo now has 14 people working for him. 7 women clear and clean the farm, while the men are given the harder tasks. Thousands of Yangona plants are planted over 3 hills on Lovoni, while the Tausilandalo is planted for export and family consumption. He's recently started planting sandalwood that will later benefit his family.
When I go to the farm, it's just like I'm going to work. You know, if we don't work one day, we don't get paid. Even today, I still regret not leaving my work at the provincial council earlier so I can come and do farming.
Ndronindalo sticks to business hours when he goes to the farm, starting his day with breakfast at 6:30 a.m., boards the bus along with his farm workers at 7 a.m., and by 8 a.m., they've reached their farm ready for the day. Work ends at 3 p.m. to leave enough time with family at home.
The most important tool a farmer should have is to be disciplined. Set your target and work towards it. Set goals to achieve in a year. Wake up early in the morning and don't drink too much grog. I only drink grog on Fridays and Saturdays, unless there are visitors in the weekdays, then I'll have a few bowls.
From filing reports in the office to swinging the knife in the farm, Ndronindalo is enjoying every moment of his life and is reaping the rewards of hard work.
I can now see the difference between the large sum of money I used to receive in my annual pay when I was working and what I earn now as a farmer. The money I get from my annual salary, I can get it in a week. Even the money I get from selling grog is more than what I used to get in 1 year.
He collects around $28,000 a month from Yangona sales alone. This is then topped up by Dalo sales. The money from his farm has been able to support his nuclear family.
I have 4 children and my wife is from Ndronibi in Ra. 3 of my children are in Suva. My eldest son works in Suva. My second eldest daughter is an auditor and a civil servant. I've been able to fund all their school fees with the money we earn from the farm. However, one of my sons helps me to run our farm.
Ndronindalo says being a farmer is not easy as it requires commitment and dedication. However, the hard work will always pay off.
You don't have to hold a high office to become a millionaire. My advice will always be to return to the village. If you are unemployed, go back to the village. There's many ways and many types of things to farm in the village to earn a better living.
For now, he is working to achieve all his targets set before he started raking in millions of dollars. Plans are to hand over the running of the family business to his son, who's been his helping hand.
Ya, tong bola binaka.
But that's only when Ronindalo feels he's met all his goals in life. Ako si Tatale, FBC News.
Successful Fijians was brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
All Black victory, all the more special for two veteran players. And Bar Football celebrates IDC win. This and more after the break.
Impula pinaka naturangan na marama na turbugi ng ngone lewa. Impula pinaka ngone. Kanuita kini maratay tiron tapi tinggomian na biyo liba ni Radio Fiji 1 ang tabay biti na bunga ni biyan. Oya upio ratuang kana mani daw ni bengravi. Na makiya may daw no kita tiri karua moniti kina barumbuka. Ene wasini ngono baru taki kilo mani koro. Iluto na karomo.
Welcome to FBC Sports, and New Zealand has created history, becoming the first team to win back-to-back titles in the Rugby World Cup. The All Blacks defeated Australia 34-17 in the final at Twickenham this morning. Rohit Deo tells us more.
All Blacks, still the kings of world rugby. Is this the greatest ever era, even for New Zealand? Well, it feels like it right now.
The All Blacks are world champions again. The world number one dominated the first half but managed to score only one try to lead 16-3 at the break.
Aaron Smith, Conrad Smith, Aaron Smith, here it comes, McCall, Milner Scudder.
The second half started the same way. The first try came when Sonny Bill Williams released Ma'anono, who just blistered through the Wallabies defence.
Almost high again from Kepu. Sonny Bill Williams to Nonu now, and Nonu finds a way through, steps, oh Nonu might go and score here! Mitchell with a tackle, Nonu! The All Blacks...
A yellow card to Ben Smith for this foul play allowed Australia to capitalise, and David Pocock took full advantage.
And Pocock, what a way to start that sim.
Fijian Tevita Kurinrani's name was next on the score sheet as his try followed by the conversion closed the gap to just 4 points.
And it's back into Australian hands, and it's Kurinrani! Game on!
It was all New Zealand after that, as man of the match Dan Carter's drop goal and penalty pushed the difference to 10 points, only for Burton Barrett to seal the win with a late try.
Barrett is chasing. He's got Pocock for speed. This is Beauden Barrett, control this, and the cup is his. It's New Zealand, and it's history, confirmed.
This is the All Blacks' third World Cup win, the most by any team. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
And still with the World Cup, the win is even more special for two players who might have played their last match in the All Blacks jumper.
All Blacks captain Richie Mako has become the only captain to lift the World Cup trophy twice. Already there are speculations that he might announce his retirement upon returning to New Zealand, but says it will be harder letting go.
I still don't want it to end, to be honest. Look, at the moment, I'm still part of this team. I'm going to enjoy today, and you know, how could you get enough of this? So we'll worry about that after today.
Mako, who's been with the All Blacks for 14 years, says he's enjoyed his career so far, and this morning's win has made it more interesting.
I just want to enjoy playing, or having played a wonderful World Cup final here with a great bunch of men, and I'm just so proud of being able to wear this jersey again today, and I don't think you ever have enough of it, and if you get moments like this, why would you ever call it a day?
Man of the match Dan Carter, who missed the 2011 final due to injury, was a cut above the rest in today's match and praised his teammates for the effort.
Very grateful to be where I am right here after what happened 4 years ago, to have to sit and watch my teammates play in the final. I was desperate to play that World Cup at home, and you know, I've been working extremely hard the last 4 years, and I'm just so proud of the team, the way they performed tonight, all this year. To win back-to-back World Cups, it's a dream come true, and to play in front of so many fans out here is just amazing.
The hard part now over, Celebrations are on the cards for the All Blacks and fans at home in New Zealand. Rohit Dev, FBC Sports.
Well, despite the loss of the Wallabies at the Rugby World Cup, the Kurindrani family was overwhelmed at the performance displayed by their son during the game. Tavita Kurindrani scored a try in the 33rd minute of the second half, but was not enough. Family members of the Wallabies centre gathered at his home at the Namatakula village in Singatoka to watch him play.
I'm so thankful to God that Tote is one of the try scorer, and although Wallabies didn't get the cup, but I saw Wallabies and what the performance today was a winning style.
The family will be hosting a feast to welcome back the K-Train later this month. NFL club San Francisco 49ers has announced they have waived former rugby league star Jared Hayne from their roster. Club management released a statement today saying running back Kendall Gaskins had been promoted to the active roster from the team's practice squad. In order to make room on the roster, the team waived Hayne. Hayne is now able to be signed by any of the other 31 NFL franchises, although there will be talks that he may return to the NRL. And Hayne signed with the 49ers as an undrafted free agent in March this year. Fijian welterweight boxer Winston Hill defeated Tahiti's Tuhia Eddie by technical knockout in the Fiji versus Tahiti boxing program last night. Hill proved too strong for his opponent as Eddie injured his arm in the second round and could not continue any further. In other bouts, Tahiti's Warrior Mai defeated Tui Tikoi Suva by knockout in the second round, while Fijian Chone Koroi Langi lost by points to Tahiti's James Keane.
Very, very proud of the two Fiji boxers. I think they came in just 3 days before the fight because there were some disagreement with other boxers who should have fought for Fiji. And I thank them for their courage to come in and replace the ones who have turned up.
A similar program is expected to be organized in January against the Papua New Guinea boxers. The bar football side yesterday celebrated its victory of the Inter-District Championships last month. Hundreds of people turned up in support of the Men in Black to celebrate their 24th IDC win. The day was a fun-filled affair with float processions, after which the players were handed over their prizes.
It is indeed my greatest pleasure to be here this afternoon. As Minister for Youth and Sports, I wish to extend my appreciation to the organizing committee of this victory celebration, because it accolades such as this deserve the recognition it is being accorded today.
The Bar Football Association also launched a book to commemorate 80 years of football in the district. The field for the 2015 Melbourne Cup horse race has been finalized. Japanese horse Fame Game is the favorite at this year's race, but will face stiff competition from France's Max Dynamite and Ireland's Trip to Paris. There are a total of 7 horses from Great Britain, 6 from Ireland, 5 from New Zealand, 2 from Japan, while Germany, France, Australia and the United States of America will have a horse each in the race.
Well, we just got the field last night, and people have been eagerly waiting for these 24 horses to, which are the horses who will take part in the Melbourne Cup. And now we got the final field. It's here with us. People can collect it from us.
The race begins at 5 p.m. on Tuesday, and you can watch it live on FBC TV. Generally fine weather conditions apart from brief showers prevailed over the country today. A trough of low pressure with associated cloud and showers affects Tuvalu, Tokelau and extends over Samoa. Meanwhile, a broad east to southeast wind flow prevails over most southwest Pacific island countries. Warm temperatures prevail throughout Fiji today. Lambasa topped off at 33 degrees this afternoon. Well, mainly fine conditions over the country tomorrow, except for clouds over Suva and Savasavu. As for the further outlook, some showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands, mainly fine elsewhere. Southeast winds 15 to 20 knots and up to 25 knots through the passages. Moderate to rough seas, moderate southerly swells. Recapping the main stories tonight, a young boy is dead and his elder brother is in critical condition tonight after a house fire in Navua early this morning. The Fiji Business Excellence Awards has recognized 24 companies at its annual awards last night. And more than 12,000 students to sit Year 12 exams from tomorrow. On to our poll question. This week we ask, are you happy with the 7 hours given to use fireworks on Diwali Day? You can visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can also send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. If you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply #FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Good night.